welcome to RAS Talk Show, our dear listeners and viewers. Today we are having a talk show live in RAS. It is all about the effects of poor performance in schools. And before I go any further, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Charles Isaac, the host, alongside.
My name is Masa Crispus, the guest.
My name is Remba Moses, the guest.
My name is Wilson Patrick, the guest.
My name is Rebecca Jesse, the guest.
My name is Akareth Mirembe, a guest.
My name is Werenyala Grace, a guest.
My name is Agano Blessed Princess, a guest.
My name is Kiteo Steven Cedric, a guest.
As our school motto states that victory is our challenge, I hope how my guests they have come with a lot of research about the effects of poor performance in schools, and I know they have brought enough content of the research which is going to educate you, our dear listeners and viewers outside there. Before I go any further, allow me to say that, as assuming now that we have come here and we know that outside there our schools and even us here in RAS TV and here in RAS Secondary School, we know very well that students are undergoing the poor performance caused by some of the effects that we know and I believe that you have come across with them and you have come share out with the viewers and our dear listeners outside there. Before I go any further, allow me to give some of the example. I know you have come across the bad peer groups. That how have these bad peer groups affected the poor performance of students? I know you can talk about the drug abuses. How have these drug abuses? They will be focusing on drug abuses instead of focusing on the reasons why they have come to school. Now, before I go any further, allow me to welcome the first guest, who is going to take us through about the effects of poor performance of learners in schools. Yes, guest Mirembe. To go through this title, we are going to talk through about some of the key questions that we are going to talk about through. So which one of them says that? How does the students' learning style like seeing, hearing, and feeling lead to poor performance at school?
The students' learning style like feeling, seeing, and listening. For example, a student who cannot see may perform poorly in the class. He or she may not be able to see the questions, the examination questions, and what will he answer. Some of the students, they don't see because of the eye effects. Maybe they are short-sighted or long-sighted, and maybe their parents cannot afford to buy for them the glasses. Now, feeling, a student may not feel like maybe he's touching a pen or a paper or a book. This may also cause poor performance in the school, which the student may not be happy and may not also know why. Hearing, students who don't hear, sometimes even they may have their interpreters, but sometimes the interpreters may also have some challenges and they may not come to the school to attend to the students. That's all I have.
Yeah, in addition to that, these problems, these effects, like a child does not see, there is a way they can make children not to perform well in class. For example, if we are to talk about feeling, a child when he's writing, for a person to be normal, should have a feeling skill so that he can feel on what he or she is touching. So if the child touches something when he's not feeling, it will be very hard for a child to know the skill of writing, like catching a pen. A child who does not feel will catch a pen but will not feel like he has caught anything. That is how feeling can affect these people, these children who cannot feel. Now, if we talk about seeing, such students who don't see, they face many challenges which lead them not to perform well in class. Like we have most of these schools whereby these children who don't see learn from, they may have expensive school fees whereby a child will have to pay so that he can learn. Many things have made these children not to learn. Now that school fees, if they don't pay very well, they will be sending the child home. How will he do it? The child who doesn't see, like in class, he will be there, but his feelings himself will feel like, I don't see, what will I do? So now those things there lead the child not to do what? To perform well in class. Like even my speaker said that about the child does not see what is writing. So now the child, it will lead to poor performance, that even the child who's blind does not see what is writing. How will he know that I have written a mistake or a what? That is it.
Thank you, the guests. I know that's the well content I knew that you are going to talk about. And before I go any further, you have talked about that, which is truly, that's one of the effects that's affecting learners in schools. That's very great, honorable, honor guests. Before I go any further, allow me go through again the key questions of this title. In which way does the students' learning difficulties or disabilities affect their performance at school?
Thank you. I'll begin by listing some of the disabilities. For example, lameness, blindness, and eyesight. I will begin by lameness. When a person is lame, the teacher will be calculating a number on the chalkboard. After calculating, we'll say one person to come and try on the chalkboard the way I've done it. That person won't be able to come and stand on the chalkboard and calculate a number. That will lead also to poor performance. When we go to eyesightness, maybe a person doesn't see properly. When, like short-sightedness now, a person does not see nearby objects. They will call him or her on the chalkboard to come and talk about what the teacher has just said. He won't be able to see because the chalkboard is nearer to him or her and he has an eyesight problem. That will make him or her, when he has not understood, to fail. We talk about blindness. A person who does not hear. Now, when a teacher is talking on the chalkboard, that person won't be able to understand, to hear what the teacher is talking about. At the end, the teacher will get out of the class when the student or a pupil has understood nothing. That will also lead to poor performance. Thank you.
Before I go any further, I would like also to me as the host, I would also like to highlight on some of the key questions. Like when you talk about the difficulties and the disabilities of these learners at school, you can talk about lameness, as the guest has talked about it. When a lame student wants to perform, like he moves on a tricycle and he wants to perform revision on a blackboard, he does not have that ability to move in front and handle the chalk and write the question on the chalkboard because he or she can't stand and have that ability to stand to write the question, to carry out his vision. That's one of the effects, because it's not that everyone understands at once in class. Students and pupils need to take revision at their own time. For example, maths is not a subject that we can only calculate in the books. Maths is a subject that also needs to be calculated on a blackboard. So as these lame students can't stand, they can't stand on high heights. That means they cannot practice revision. Thank you very much, the guest. I would like to go through also the key question that states that identify how the students' interests and motivations lead to poor performance at schools.
Thank you, our moderator Isaac Shallow, for this wonderful opportunity. Before I attack that question, allow me first thank all of you for coming for this vigorous talk show. So before I go any further, allow me talk about how the interest and motivation of students affect their performance. I can begin by giving some few examples, like the examples of the interest. If you just move in schools, you get that students and even the pupils are interested in many other things. Others are interested in games, others are interested in games like football, netball, and they spend most of their time in those games, while others are just interested in doing some other things apart from doing the classwork. And also some of them are interested in their education studies. For example, most of their free time, like during break time, lunch time, they take their time researching, and this group of people will take their time researching, will be able to perform well in their examinations. Whereas those ones who are not interested in education, like those ones who will be playing every time, who will be dodging lessons, and who will be involving in other immoral acts, will not be able to perform, hence leading to their failure. Thank you. That's what I had to.
In addition to that, I would like to talk about interest, because the question is talking about interest and motivation. In learners, some learners are mostly interested in playing, others may be interested maybe in reading, others may be interested in different things. But here, what can make a student fail is that a child, because all of us come to school to study, a child can be like interested in playing netball, playing football, and leaving alone books. You know, most of the students, of the learners these days, they do not like reading books all the time. So the child will draw their attention to different kinds of things, and that will make a child fail. If a child has to pass, the person must be interested. You must be interested. Nobody must push you. You must be self-motivated, and you must have self-esteem. If a person is to study well and pass, I think they're supposed to motivate themselves, read books, and do what's required so they may pass. Thank you.
Furthermore, in addition to her speech, I would like to say that it is by the way believed that not all students or learners come to school because they are all interested in education. Most of the learners, they are interested in only playing games like netball. Talk about entertainment, because at the time they say that today having entertainment, almost all the school is happy. So it's believed in most of the schools, you have experienced this, that not all the students or the learners come to school to study. Also, they come to school to have chats with their friends, because during the holidays they normally miss their friends. So in addition to that, I would like to go to the next key point question. If the students are facing emotional and psychological challenges, highlight the way it will lead to poor performance at school.
Thank you once more. To me, what would make children perform poorly at school, about psychological torture? If a child is physically tortured or mentally tortured, what can make them to fail? One, the things that can make them to fail can be family conflicts, like separation of parents, lack of school fees, and other things. So let me talk about separation of parents. Like if parents have separated and the child will be left, when the child comes to school, maybe the parents have separated a month before the child comes to school, and the child comes to school, the child will be like, my parents at home, what? I'm missing my dad, I'm missing my mom. And the child will be stressed, like packed with many questions.
Yeah, it can be like the child may be home, but yesterday the parents fought. So the child will come to school. The fellow friend may think, this girl is concentrating, but her minds are at home. What happened yesterday at home? How mommy and daddy fought, and will also not concentrate in class.
Indeed.
All her minds will be home.
Now, if parents fight, and the child of course will be stressed. And if a child becomes stressed, of course the child may become sickly. The child may fall sick due to this kind of things. And if I'm sick and I have headache, there is no way I'm going to get where the child is teaching. The child will be in class and my mind will be in another area, another place. I will not be concentrating at the teacher, that particular place. So automatically, I will not pass because of such things.
In addition to her,
like if a parent has died, the child, like they're having like 1 week to come to school. The parent has died at home. The child will come to school, will be stressed. The child will say, now, my father, for example, his or her father has been paying for him or her fees. Will say, now my father has died, I have nothing now. My mother, like if the mother just sits at home, that has no work at home. You say, my mother just sits at home, the money that she brought into school, she has just borrowed. Now, the child will be in a class confused. That will lead to the performance coming down. Second of it, like if parents have fought at home seriously, like even like the mother has been admitted to the hospital, the child will say, Mama, dad has beaten mom, they have separated. Now what I am left with in the world? Because if mom is admitted to the hospital, you say, now mom is admitted to the hospital, I have nothing to do. Instead to be focused on the chalkboard, we'll just put the head on desk and sleep. That will lead to the failure.
By the way, when you talk about the emotional feelings, there's a nearby school near us here whereby you find a student or the learner stranded on their way, handled with cheek, with a lot of worries. You go close to her and ask her or he that what's the problem. They talk about their boyfriend, which shows that these emotional feelings, they have made these students or learners to undergo the adolescence period. As all of us, we know that an adolescence period is always between these children in secondary schools and primary schools. Therefore, it also causes them to have emotional feelings. Instead of concentrating in class with the teacher is teaching, they will be holding their cheeks, supporting their cheeks and their heads, thinking of their boyfriends, which will make them to miss a lot that the teacher is explaining about. That will also make them to involve in the poor performance of their academics.
By the way, yeah, some students, okay, when you talk about emotional changes, when some students are having like, you come to school to study, and some students, they do not come to school here to study. They can be influenced by other friends. I myself, when I see this one having a boyfriend, she may ask me, what are you waiting for? Why can't you also get a boyfriend? A boyfriend, you can feel like comfort when you have a boyfriend. You can also brag around, and myself, I may also want to get a boyfriend. That will lead to my poor performance. The teacher will be at the blackboard teaching. My mind will be very stressed, think about the boyfriend. Whereby a boyfriend is in class, concentrating, performing well. Me, the girlfriend, don't think about him. He's performing poor. That can contribute the poor performance of a student. Thank you. And in addition to that, if like the girl has a boyfriend, like every day, like they take him to the canteen. The boy one day will say, now I want to make you pregnant, and the girl will be pregnant. And instead, the boy will impregnate the girl, and the girl will go back home, and he'll say at home, the boy is at school studying. That will cause also to the failure in studies. And second of it, if like a girl says, my boyfriend is there, why should I have to study? His work, his learning will become a doctor, will become a what? When even is forecasting, what even might not happen in the future. That is